Alrighty, welcome back to another video. We have a new summon portal out. It is the Challenge Festival 2 and there is a new Bard hero. So let's have a look. This is Celimene. So it is a blue Bard. I think this is the first blue 5-star Bard that we are going to have. So she is a 5-star blue ranger. So with the Bard family, the Bard family gets solo hero gets plus 5% mana generation. Team members are solo hero if they have no family or realm members in the team. Now one thing to note here is you can use the same hero as long as it's the same version of those heroes. It will both of those heroes or three of those heroes will still get the Bard mana bonus. So for example, currently right now there are teams like the triple Lepiota team, because if you pair them with a Bard, they go off in 2 matches. So all 3 Lepiotas, if you use the regular Lepiota version, all 3 of those Lepiota versions will get the 5% mana bonus. So the same thing if you use double Ruby, which is quite famous, well known in top tier offense teams. You want to use double El Nadaha, it's the same thing, you'll get that 5%. As long as they do not share their family or realm bonuses with another hero in the offense team. So that's essentially how the Bard works. Now she has a another passive, which is attack ailment reduction. So reduces the effect of status ailments affecting attack by 50%. The effect applies to this character and all its allies in the battle. So if I'm not mistaken, this reduces Erlang's effects by 50%, which is considered okay, I guess. I mean, it's in a pretty niche situation right now. So I mean, it's only Narcissa and Erlang that people are normally worried about, so not as good as the other bards where they give mana, where they stop mana generation by 50%, where they reduce it by 50%, not stop. So that's so much better. But I mean, you can't have it all, right? So Moonlight Sonata, it's the special skill at average speed, deals 400% damage to the target and nearby enemies. Wow, okay. The target and nearby enemies can't get their status ailments cleansed from special skills for 3 turns. So the 3 targets she hits will not be able to cleanse any ailments that you inflict onto them. So if they have, like for example, a cleanser in the team, once you use Celimene to hit them, they will not be able to cleanse those ailments. The target and nearby enemies get negative 44% defense for 3 turns. Wow, I feel like for some reason SG is pushing strong hit trees into the meta. I mean, okay, let's take for example this, right? So Celimene at base is 891 as a ranger. Okay, so 400% damage to the target and nearby enemies at average speed, and they get negative 44% defense for 3 turns. Let's stop this for a while. So the maximum she can get is 1206 attack, assuming this is all left path, which is primarily, I think, the attack path for rangers, so she might get a little bit stronger. Let's see if I can just do the quick math right now. Let's see if I look at a ranger. Let's look at a ranger. Where do I? Okay. So if I look at the left path, it will be left 1, 2, 3, 4. So there is a potential for her to gain an additional 30. 1, 2, 3, 45 attack. So that's 1251. 1251 attack, 400% damage. So let's look at Hurricane, for example. So Hurricane, 1247, 410% damage. So that's roughly there. Aramis, 1213, 375% damage to the target. The other one that I would look at would be Adelinda is 965, Well, she's not double limit broken, so I can't do the exact comparison. But this is also 395% damage. But I think once you get 965, you increase it by another, say, 30% of it. It's not going to reach 1002, but essentially that's like the benchmark. So, like, I use Adelinda with Cobalt in War of the Three Kingdom war attacks. I don't use it for regular wars because it's too slow. But imagine, so she does 395% damage to target nearby enemies, and they get negative 56% defense. So higher defense reduction, but lower attack. Can you imagine if you use Celimene? Let's say you do get her and you do double limit break her. She deals 400% damage to target and nearby enemies at 1206 or 1251, depending on how you path the emblems on her. And they get negative 44% defense. Whoever you use to hit, the subsequent hitter who hits after Celimene will most likely kill the three targets that you're aiming at. Not to mention, she's also a ranger, so any defense buff you try to put on those three targets, because of this 25% chance to bypass defensive buffs, yeah, those three targets are not surviving. So it seems that SG has, taken this and decided, hey, you know what? Hit alls are. We might need to stop, using hit alls at fast speed, Joe, for example, and Ojima. But hey, let's beef up these hit tree heroes, those heroes that, in essence, the game has kind of evolved to a point where sometimes this hit tree does deal, the full amount of their damage, because you can't exactly kill the tank with tiles nowadays, because you have self-healing tanks like Hurricane, high defense tanks like Ludwig. You have Aramis, who basically says, hey, ain't no ailments is gonna hit me. So having Celimene like this, especially in blue, where blue hit trees are not that many, those hit trees that hit evenly. So if you think about it, right, there are heroes like Cinnamon, which deals 280% or 290% damage to all enemies and giving negative 54% elemental defense down against ice. So that's hit all. But sometimes you don't really want that, because all you need is basically to clear up a ghosting spot, and sometimes 290% damage to all enemies might not actually kill anybody at double limit break. But 400% damage to the target and nearby enemies, on the other hand, that might actually clear up a ghosting path for you, in situations where you need a ghosting spot. So I'm gonna think, like, I'm hoping nothing happens here, but I think she's quite good as a potential striker. Although at average speed, you kind of need to be a little apprehensive. 9 tiles is pretty hard to get, but with a level 29 magic troop on her, she gets the so you get 20% mana there, and then you get 5% as a bard herself, her being the only bard in your team, and she gets to go off in 8 tiles. So that's essentially 2 matches, 1 dragon match, 1 normal match, and then pop the dragon. So there's no need for the third match, and potentially, if you pair that with like a for example, you pair that with Cobalt, or okay, I keep going back to Cobalt because that's the one I use. I don't know if there's any other average speed blues that hit. Let me know in the comments if there is, that I'm missing out. But essentially, if you use Cobalt, right, so Cobalt, you have a level, you give the same thing. If you have 2 level 29 magic troops on both of them, they essentially fire in 8 tiles. That's devastating. And if you have, for example, you have a Krampus, something that gives attack buffs to your heroes before they hit. Ooh, sounds painful. So anyways, that's basically, I think, the only hero that is new in this portal. Celimene, I think, is really good. Do let me know if you do pull her. So we do have 2 pulls here. And the other feature are also not bad. Phoenixa is okay, and Riz, oh well, everybody knows Riz to be just a strong offensive hero. So we have two pulls. We just finished the rare and the legendary event stages. So why not we just do a little pull here? Let's see what we get. And, you know, since there's no season 1, you don't have to complain about season 1s. Oh, we get the other blue bard. Well, I did max him because I wanted to try out something in 4-star raid tournaments, but hey, you know, maybe I'll level another one. Who knows? And Candy, meh. But anyways, that's my pools for now. I'm not doing any more pools. I'm pretty much saving for Solstice. But do let me know your thoughts on her. And I'll see you guys on the next video. GG.